Mr. Harrison is Embarrassing. Chapter 2, Night of the Living Teachers. All the teachers were stumbling around like it was a scene out of Night of the Living Dead. It was cool. We all went into the front office to see what was going on. "What's going on?" I asked Miss Patty, the school secretary. "Our coffee machine is on the fritz," she said. "What's a fritz?" I asked. "And why would you put coffee machine on them? Maybe they should take the coffee machine off the fritz and it would work again." "On the fritz means something is broken, Arlo," Andrea said, rolling her eyes. She calls me by my real name because she knows I don't like it. "Your face is on the fritz," I told Andrea. "Fritz? That's a weird word." Suddenly, our principal, Mr. Klutz, came rushing from his office. He has no hair at all. I mean, none. Mr. Klutz looked like he had been tearing his hair out, if he had any. "I don't know what to do," he said. "If the teachers don't get their coffee in the morning, we could have a disaster on our hands." Teachers were wandering in and out of the office like monsters. Must have coffee. Need coffee. Life is empty without coffee. Go to Starbucks. Boy, grown-ups sure do like coffee. What's their problem? "We've got to do something," shouted Emily, and she went running out of the office. "Where's Miss Lazar?" asked Mr. Klutz. "She usually takes care of the coffee machine." "It's her day off," said Miss Patty. Miss Lazar is the school custodian. Things always seem to go on the fritz when she has the day off. I thought the teachers were going to start a riot or something, but you'll never believe who walked into the door at that moment. Nobody, because if you walked into a door, it would hurt. But you'll never believe who walked into the doorway. It was Mr. Harrison, the tech guy at our school. He fixes computers and laser printers and copy machines. He is really skinny and has blonde hair. Good morning, Mr. Harrison said to everybody. He was holding a paper cup of coffee. I guess he must have stopped off to buy coffee on the way to school. Some of the teachers saw his cup and surrounded him. "Must have coffee," groaned Miss Laney, the speech teacher. Mr. Harrison leaned his head back to finish his coffee. "Ah, that hit the spot," he said, throwing the cup in the garbage. Miss Laney reached into the garbage can, grabbed the cup, and tried to lick a few drops of coffee from it. "Maybe you can help us, Mr. Harrison," said Mr. Klutz. "The coffee machine is broken." "Yeah, it needs to get off the fritz," I added. "Can you fix it?" Mr. Klutz asked. "If we don't get some coffee soon, I'm afraid the teachers will be revolting." "Some of the teachers are already revolting," I said. "Leave it to me," said Mr. Harrison. "I can fix anything. They don't call me Fritz Harrison for nothing." "Is Fritz really your name?" I asked. "No, it's just my nickname." "What's your real name?" I asked. "Oh, I can't tell you that." A bunch of teachers gathered around to watch while Mr. Harrison examined the coffee machine. "It's simple, really," he said. "The water goes in this tube to the drip area. This switch sends electricity to a heating element, and blah, blah, blah. Sensors, blah, blah. Fuses to keep it from getting too hot, blah, blah, blah. One-way valve, blah, blah, blah. Filtration system, and blah, blah, blah." Mr. Harrison went on like that for 1,100,000 minutes. He made it sound like the inside of a coffee machine was a rocket ship. "So, do you know what's wrong with it?" asked Mr. Klutz. "Sure," Mr. Harrison replied. "It's not plugged in." He plugged in the coffee machine, and it started making coffee right away. The teachers cheered and clapped him on the back. "Hooray for Mr. Harrison," they yelled. "He fixed the coffee machine. He should get the Nobel Prize. He's our hero."